Shalom, 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 beautiful children, beautiful people of the true and living power. We back at it. I'm back in the berry. Y'all. Shalom, shalom, Barakatah this day. For this is a day that the Most High have made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Thy testimonies will I speak. Thy testimonies will I speak. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the true and living power, to the eternal Father, and to the beloved Mother, the eternal Mother, wisdom, the Holy Spirit. Uh, yeah, to the great Prince who stands for the people. To him we give honor as well, for it is due. And we're going to get rocking, man. We're going to get rocking. Thy testimonies. And if just by looking, right, at this, what do you see? Testament, right? Testament, testimony, test. You take out the word meant and you test. Just focus in on the word test, right? The word test, focus in on that. That's what this is, y'all. That's what this simulation is, and that's what is now crashing down. This test is almost over. The test is almost over. And we never, like going on to my last lesson, to whom it may consider, or to whom we never considered, Salakia, to whom we never considered. He never been told that our Father himself endured this test. Our Father himself endured this test. And that's been the main thing, like, that they always try to silence. They tried to silence our Father. And as his kids, as his children, we played a hand in that. We played a hand in that as far as his children and his people. Played a hand in doing so. And until YouTube stopped jacking up my stuff. Am I clear, YouTube? Are you done? Can I go? Am I good? So, like I was saying, um, testimonies, testimonies, uh, and how everything is a test. Okay, we're going to go into this book, into the Old Testament, the Pseudepigrapha, Volume 1, Apocalyptic Literature and Testaments. Okay, and Testaments. And we are going to go into the patriarch of Simeon. We're going to go into the patriarch of Simeon. All right. And I'm going to start in chapter 4. I'm in the book of the Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs. And this is in the Testament of Simeon. Okay. And this is what it reads. Now my father was inquiring about me because he saw that I was silent, or sullen. And I said to him, I am inwardly in pain, for I was more sorrowful than all of them, because it was I who was responsible for what had been done to Joseph. And when we went down into Egypt, and he placed me in feathers as a spy, right? I knew that I was suffering justly, and I did not lament. But Joseph was a good man, one who had within him the spirit of power. And this is in the Bible, Pharaoh said this. And being full of compassion and mercy, he did not bear ill will toward me, but loved me as well as my brothers. Guard yourselves, therefore, my children, from all jealousy and envy. Live in the integrity of your hearts, so that power might give you grace and glory and blessing upon your heads, just as you have observed in Joseph. Don't this sound very familiar? Observed in Joseph. Observed. Let's go to the dictionary. Observed in Joseph. I'm going to look up the word observe. Okay. Get out of the way. Observer, just observe. Trying to goof around on this thing. Observe. Notice or perceive something and register it at being significant. Okay? Notice or perceive something and register it as being significant. Notice or see, similar. Comment, remark. Okay? We got that. So let's continue. Okay, observe this. Observe this in Joseph. Okay. In all his days, he did not reproach us for this deed, but he loved us as his own life. In all his days, he did not reproach us for this deed, but he loved us as his own life. Okay. He exalted us from he exalted us more than he did his own sons. You know, when you hear, I know I'm not going to get it, but for those who have ears, let them hear. And for those who have eyes, may they see by the will of the Almighty. So, what just came to me is how we always heard. We always heard that the angels envied man. Why? Because power put them over them. At least that's the way they felt. That's the way the angels felt. That he put man over them. So my question is, who are the sons? Now this precept is going to make a little bit more sense, y'all. Never think that you can have the Most High figured out. Never, ever, ever, ever. Pass it. I probably passed it. I probably passed it. Yeah, I did. Okay. Because I know it's not all the way up there in Jeremiah. But nonetheless, it's in the book of Jeremiah. It's in the book of Jeremiah. Or is it in Isaiah? It's probably in Isaiah, y'all. It's probably in Isaiah, y'all. Now I get the meaning to this. Man, I tell you, power something else, man, with his mercy as far as understanding. Yeah, it's in Isaiah. Salakia. Isaiah 11 and 13. The envy also of Ephraim. The envy also of Ephraim. The envy also of Ephraim. Isn't Ephraim the sons of Joseph? Shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. The envy of angels. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 18. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. And they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance. Who's speaking? Who's speaking? Let's read that again, shall we? For this deed, but he loved us as his own life. He exalted us more than he did his own sons. And he showered us with wealth, flocks, and produce. And you, my children, each of you love his brothers with a good heart. Each of you love his brothers with a good heart. And the spirit of envy will depart from you. For the attitude makes the soul savage and corrupts the body. It foments from you, or foments wrath and conflict. So, like it foments wrath and conflict in the reason, excites to the shedding of blood, drives the mind to distraction, arouses tumult in the soul, and trembling in the body, even in sleep. Some possession for evil fills his fantasy and consumes him. By evil spirits, it stirs up his soul and fills his body with terror. In distress, it arouses his mind from sleep. And like an evil, penetrating spirit, so it manifests itself to human beings. Okay? 5. Here we go. And I'm about to show you so much in this first verse in chapter 5. Because nothing evil Because nothing evil reside in Joseph, because nothing evil resides in Joseph, because nothing evil resides in Joseph, because nothing evil resides in Joseph. I heard this before. Oh yeah, that's right. Is it in Hebrews? I'm gonna go there, then I'm gonna hop back here real quick and finish. Yeah, read it. Because nothing evil resides in Joseph, he was attractive in appearance and handsome to behold. For the face evidences any troubling of the spirit. And now, my children, let me pause. Let me pause right there. Genesis 39, verse 66. Y'all tell me if y'all can find this in the Bible. Is there 66 verses in the Bible? In Genesis 39, chapter 39? Is there 66 verses in Genesis chapter 39? Oh, wait. Is there any? Does it go to verse 66 in the chapter of Genesis, chapter 39? Does it have 66 verses in the 39th chapter of Genesis? The answer is no. You won't find it in no Bible. And that's the precept. That's the precept. This is why I believe in the book of Ezekiel, when he's talking about the two sticks, right in your Bible. Because this is what Hebrews chapter 9, verse 11 says. The two sticks in chapter 37, verse 16, spoken of in the book of Ezekiel. This is why I believe that. But Christ, being come an high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, that is to say, not of this building. Okay? Is it 9? I thought it was 9. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I thought it was 9. It is. It is. Okay. I just had the wrong verse. Salakia. 12. I'm going to read down from here then. Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered and once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us. Okay. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and of ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctified to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot? And we know Christ is just a title. Christ is just, a word that is thrown, but you got to do your due diligence to find what is the Christ. What does this just sound familiar to y'all? What is this saying right here? How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit, the Father, through the Father, that's the eternal Spirit, offered himself without spot to power, then it says to God, just as though you are, right? Purge your conscience from the dead works to serve the living power. Okay. Without evil in him. Or let's say that this right here is even speaking of Joshua. Who was his father again? And when I say Joshua, I'm talking about Joshua, the son of Nun. Hoshea, Yeshaya, Yahawashai, the son of Nun. Yeshua. Okay. How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot, without evil? There was no evil found in him. There was no evil found in him. Meaning his heart did not possess the evil inclination. Therefore, when you hear he had the Spirit of God, in order to have the Spirit of God in you, you can no longer have the evil inclination of the heart. That's why Simeon said the things that he said concerning Joseph. For the eternal Father put who as a testimony? Who did he give as a testimony? It was Joseph. This is who they tried to hide, y'all. I'm just showing you what they tried to hide. Now, if you go to chapter 11 in Hebrews, you go to chapter 11, verse 22, says, by faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel and gave commandment concerning his bones. The commandments, y'all. Who do we hear embody the commandments? A testimony. The eternal Father put the commandments within his Son concerning the children of men. Therefore, it seemed, that's why Simeon said he put us over his own children. All right, watch this, y'all. Watch this, man. The death and burial of Joseph. Now, I read this before plenty of times, but we know that the repetition, that repetition is the first lesson in learning. Must go over certain things again and again. Let me turn on this light. Because they didn't do much. But here we go. The death and burial of Joseph. And this is what it reads. On the bed, Joseph took an oath of his brethren. What's the oath, y'all? See? Turn it real quick. We get an oath too. Took an oath of his brethren and bade them on their deathbed likewise take an oath of their sons to carry his bones to Palestine when power should visit them and bring them up out of the land of Egypt. He said, I that am ruler could take my father's body up to the Holy Land while it was still intact. Of you I do I do but make the request that ye carry my bones from hence, and you may enter, you may enter them in any spot in Palestine. For I know that the burial place of my fathers was appointed to be the tomb only of the three patriarchs and their three wives. Okay. Joseph took the oath to carry his remains along with them when they left Egypt from his brethren and not from his sons, to bury him at once in Palestine. For he feared the Egyptians would not give the latter permission, okay, to transport his bones, even if they recall what Joseph had been allowed to do with his father's body. Who did Pharaoh forget? Not who did he not know anymore? This is by design. You see how this is nothing but a big cycle. This is why it's on us to do the right thing. It's on us to do the right thing. Because this is the last Exodus, y'all. This right here, what you're seeing. Everything that's taking place right now is the last Exodus. Okay. They would object that Joseph had been the viceroy and a wish preferred by one of so high an estate could not be denied. Furthermore, he adjured his brethren not to leave Egypt until a redeemer should appear, and announce his message with the words, Pakad, I have surely visited you, a tradition which Joseph had received from his father, who had it from Isaac, and Isaac in turn had heard it from Abraham. Let's look up this word. Traditional, huh? Traditional. Let's look this up, y'all. Let's see if Google got it. I think I pronounced it right. Picard. No, they did not have it. They gave me some Indian food. That is not what I typed in. That is not what I typed. Come on, man. Let me see if they got a Bible definition. All right, let's see if they got it then. Still ain't got it. They do not have it. They got this spot. Okay. So here we go. And he told them that power would redeem Israel through Moshe as through the Messiah. in this world as in the world to come. And the Egyptian redemption would begin in Tishra, when Israel would be freed from slave labor and would be completed in the following Nisan, when they would leave Egypt. Joseph also admonished his brethren to walk in the ways of the Lord, so that they might become worthy of his grace and help. Especially, he okay, impressed upon his brethren and his sons, the virtue of chastity and a steadfast moral life. He told them all that had happened to him, the hatred of his brethren, the persecutions of the wife of Potiphar, the slander, envy, and malice of the Egyptians, to show how that those who fear the Maker are not forsaken by him in darkness or bondage or tribulations or distress. I was sold into slavery, he said, but the Maker delivered me. I was thrown into prison, but his strong hand helped me. I was tortured by hunger, but the Maker himself gave me sustenance. I was alone, and power comforted me. And as for you, if ye will walk in the ways of chastity and purity and patience and humility of heart, the Maker will dwell among you, for he loveth a chaste life. And if you, my children, will observe the commandments of the Maker, he will raise you up here in this world and bless you there in the world to come. If men seek to do evil unto you, pray for them, and you will be delivered from all evil by the Maker. On the account of my forbearing patience, I received the daughter of my master to wife, and her dowry was 100 talents of gold, and power gave me also beauty like the beauty of a flower, more than all the children of Jacob. And he preserved me unto my old age and vigor and beauty. For in all things did I resemble Jacob. Joseph continued and told them the visions he had, in which the future of Israel was revealed to him. And then he closed with the words, I know that the Egyptians will oppress you after my death, but power will execute vengeance for your sakes, and he will lead you to the land of promise of your fathers. Okay? So, what we got going on right here, y'all? You see this? I'm reading this right here. Verse 3, 4, and 5. Lo, a time appointed on our solemn feast. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of God of Jacob, and a law of the God of Jacob, of the power of Jacob. Joseph testimony, for a testimony. What did he just testify to the brethren? to live in perfection. Yup. There it is, fam. That's what he just testified to the brethren. Walk in the ways. Walk in the ways of the eternal Father. Walk in the ways of the eternal Father. Remember, in Genesis 45, 5 through 6, he told the brethren what? That the Most High sent me here before you to preserve life. Okay, so it's in the Bible. This is what the Most High meant when he told men, my doctrine will stand. Because you got man doctrine within the Bible. And if one is talking about Joseph, what is the other one talking about? Who is the other? What is the other doctrine about, y'all? I just told you who his sons were. If his sons are angels, y'all figure that out. Y'all figure that out. Power says his people. Joseph's house is considered the house of the Most High. If you don't know this by now, Joseph's house is considered the house of God. We've been taught something different. I know. Let me continue this. I'm going to read this thing out. But ye shall surely carry my bones with you from hence. For if my remains are taken to Canaan, the Maker will be with you in the light, and Belair will be with the Egyptians in the darkness. Also take with you the bones of your mother, Zelpha, and bury them near the sepulchre of Belha, and Rachel. These words ended it. He stretched out his feet and slept his eternal sleep. And the whole of Israel mourned him, and the whole of Egypt was in great grief. For he had been a compassionate friend to the Egyptians. 2, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. All I'm going to say is Osiris and Isis. Osiris and Isis. Just like the brethren, okay, concealed him in the Bible, so did the Egyptians. No different. Confederate. They were confederate. Who? The entire world. Everybody you can think of. Everybody you can think of was confederate against the house of God. Everybody was confederate against the house of power because he is anti-flesh. He is anti-men. That's why. And once you find out who's the ruler of this world, it ain't that hard to figure out. And he had done good unto them in giving them wise counsel. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What would be that wise counsel that he gave to the Egyptians? Torah? The Kabbalah? Huh? What did he give? Uh-oh. Why you think they got judged, y'all? There's nothing new under the sun. That's why Egypt all over again is about to be judged all over again. We are living in nothing but these times that I'm reading to you now. We're in the latter. The former is the latter. And giving them wise counsel and assistance in all their undertakings. And assistance in all their undertakings. Look up the credentials of Osiris, even down to his burial. Look it up, y'all. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Joseph's wish that his bones should rest in the Holy Land was fulfilled when the Israelites went forth from Egypt, and no less a personage than Moshe applied himself to execution. Such was Joseph's reward for the devotion he had displayed in the interment of his father's body. For he had done all things needful himself, leaving not to others. Therefore, so great a man as Moshe busied himself with the realization of Joseph's wish. For 3 days and 3 nights preceding the Exodus, Moshe hunted up and down through the land of Egypt for Joseph's coffin. This is what they don't tell you in the Bible. This is what they kept in Confederacy. Both houses, both. The heathen in the Gentiles' house, both. For 3 days, and 3 nights preceding the Exodus, Moshe hunted up and down through the land of Egypt for Joseph's coffin. because he knew that Israel could not leave, couldn't leave Egypt without heeding the oath given to Joseph. But his trouble was in vain. The coffin was nowhere to be found. And Sarah, the daughter of Asher, met Moshe, tired and exhausted, and in answer to her question about the cause of his weariness, he told her of his fruitfulest search. Sarah took him to the Nile River and told him that the leaden coffin made for Joseph by the Egyptians had been sunk there after having been sealed up on all sides. Like I said, look up the story of Osiris. It's amazing, y'all. It's amazing what the Almighty has done, y'all. The Egyptians had done this at the instigation and with the help of the magicians, okay, who, knowing that. So now, to whoever don't know, now you must. Here they go. Now you must ask yourselves, who and what was Joseph? Okay. Israel could not leave the country without the coffin, had used their arts to put it in place, whence it could not be removed. Witchcraft. Moshe now took Joseph's cup. Joseph's cup. Oh, you hear about that cup of God? Okay. And he cut 4 flat pieces from it and engraved a lion on one of them and an eagle on the second, a bull on the third, and a human figure on the fourth. He threw it first with the lion into the river, saying at the same time, Joseph, Joseph, the hour for the redemption of Israel had arrived. The Shekinah lingers here only. This is why I told everybody who's serious about the true and living power. If you say you are serious, if you got yourself the stick of Joseph in the hands of Ephraim, you might want to get the legend of the Jews too. You might want to get that. I'm going to read it again because it was so much just in this paragraph. So much that was just said. So much. Who is he who dwells between the cherubims? Moshe now took Joseph's cup And he cut 4 flat pieces from it and engraved a lion, one on one of them, and an eagle on the second, a bull on the third, and a human figure on the fourth. He threw the first with the lion into the river, saying at the same time, Joseph, Joseph, the hour for the redemption of Israel. This is where we at right now, y'all. This is where we at. For the redemption of Israel had arrived. The Shekinah lingers here only for thy sake, Mother, the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Shekinah. The clouds of glory await thy coming. The clouds of glory await thy coming. If thou wilt show thyself well and good, if not, then we are clear from our oath. But the coffin did not appear. Then Moshe threw the second plate into the water, that with the figure of an eagle, repeating the same words. But again, the coffin did not rise from the bed of the Nile. And there it remained too, when he threw the third plate bearing the figure of the bull, and called upon Joseph a third time to come forth. But Joseph, but the fourth plate, Salakia, but the fourth plate with the human figure in the fourth invocation to Joseph brought the coffin to the surface of the water. Moshe seized it, and in joy he bore it off. While Israel had been busy gathering gold and silver from the Egyptians, Moshe had been thinking of nothing but Joseph's coffin. I'm going to read this again. And it's break down everything that this wicked government is doing right now. The reason why they plan it's yours. Now it's not. It's yours. Now you can have the check. Oh no, you can't. Are we gonna give the check out to you? Oh no, we're not. They want to see how bad you're going to rely. Do you still need me? Do you still need? They are the abusive boyfriend or the abusive girlfriend, right? The narcissist, right? That know that all the abuse have come up to here. And so they see that the abuse have taken toll on the people. And now they want to be generous and kind. They want to see if they still have that love from the people. After all the abuse that they have done, they still want to see how much you love them. So what are they doing? Check is here, but it's not. Here come the money, but now it's gone. Do you still need us? Do you still need the government assistance? To get you through all of our ridiculous laws and legislative, I don't know how to say that, to get you through all our stupidity that we got set up, all the structure of the system, bills and 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 bills. You need us to get through the bills that we set up for y'all to fail. So I'm abusing you. I'm slapping the shit out of you. But I provide the hospital at the same time. You see? This is why we must turn these fools on a neck by the will of the Almighty, by the will of the Most High. We must break this system's neck. There is no other way. I know the so-called Black Indian community think there's another way. There is no other way but the way of the Most High. There is no other way. He says, while Israel had been busy gathering gold and silver from the Egyptians, we are dealing with the Egyptians. That is the shadow government. Moshe had been thinking of nothing but Joseph's coffin, and his happiness was great that he had been permitted to fulfill the wish of Joseph. The Egyptians, bro. To fulfill the wish of Joseph. During the 40 years of wandering through the desert, the coffin was in the midst of Israel. The ark, the ark, the ark. The coffin was in the midst of Israel as a reward for Joseph's promise to his brethren. I will nourish you and take care of you. Power has said, as thou livest for 40 years, they will take care of thy bones. All this time in the desert, Israel carried 2 shrines with them. Here we go. Here we go. All this time in the desert, Israel carried 2 shrines with them. The one, the coffin containing the bones of the dead man Joseph. The other, the ark containing the covenant of the living God. The wayfarers who saw the 2 receptacles wondered, and they would ask, how doeth the ark of the dead come next to the ark of the ever living? The answer was, the dead man enshrined in the one fulfilled the commandments enshrined in the other. And the latter, it is written, I am the maker of thy power. And he said, am I in the place of power? Am I in the place of God? Here it is written, thou shalt have no other gods before my face. And he said, I fear God. I fear my Father. Here it is written, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. And therefore he did not swear by God, but said, by the life of Pharaoh. As wise as a serpent. Here it is written, remember the Sabbath day. And he said to the overseers of his palace on Friday, slay and make ready, meaning for the Sabbath. Here it is written, honor thy father and thy mother. Honor thy father and thy mother. Honor thy father and thy mother. The Shekinah was there for his sake. Mother, the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, was there for his sake. Why? Because he honored his parents. Not just, oh, I gotta go. They're kicking me out, y'all. Not just the father. Okay? Not just the father. We're gonna continue this, man. I had to get out. They're kicking me out. Thy testimonies. Thy testimonies. We're gonna continue this, man. Most High willing. Shalom, beautiful children of the true and living power, giving all praises, glory, and honor to the true and living power, man. And to our Heavenly Mother. In honor to the King and to the great Prince who stand for the people. Shalom. Shalom. They kicking me out, man. It's nothing I can do. Shalom.